Hi everyone, welcome in. Oh, snaps. This Tuesday. Yeah, I just read that. You know what's crazy? Just that I literally was like thinking. I mean, it's not gonna you. It's gonna be subtly, but you know what? I was just thinking that I'm like, damn. Soon we will probably we will probably be like we'll start getting some darker days soon. Not like tomorrow, but you know. Okay, 9. Please like the stream, guys. So now I need a specific question about the career. So what do you want to know? Hi, how are you? So for mini readings, you have to have a specific question. For in-depth readings, you could just do whatever comes out. Um, okay, you want to know how you're doing at work? All right, let's see. All right, let's see. Let me grab the deck. All right, give me a second. Sorry, let me turn back around. Wait, just said. Hold on, man. I woke up at 8 a.m. trying to fall back to sleep, and my body was like, no, so. And bam, some BS. Took an ibuprofen, went back to bed after. Yo, that's exactly what I would have done. All right, how is night doing at work? Let's see, how is night doing at work? How is night doing? Do you have a heating pad? I don't know what it is with the heating pad, but it just makes it disappear for me, like the cramps. I don't know if you've like been worried about work because I'm seeing like things are going to change when you least expect it. So if work has been feeling a little hectic or like just you're feeling drained, you're feeling like a little burnout, that is going to change at some point. I do see some challenges coming up though at work. There could be some challenges coming up, or you could be in that place right now. Show me the moon, spirit. Show me the moon. I've been using, you know what, I used it yesterday for y'all channeled, but I wasn't on the camera. Yeah, you see, like, something is going to change here. You may not see it. So if you are facing challenges or you're feeling kind of stuck or, like, not sure of what to do, maybe too much work and feeling like there's not enough time to complete it, that will change at some point. But I'm also seeing there could be like something new that falls on your lap, like a new job, a new, I don't feel like it's gonna be there. I feel like someone tells you, like there could be a friend, because the Three of Cups try to come out. So that's a friendship card. Like a friend could be telling you about a new job that's like, you know, like maybe their workplace is hiring for something that you're gonna feel like it's more pay and less work, which is good, because I still see a little bit of stress coming up, but it does change. There is going to be a change, and I see a job offer. Let me just see the Nine of Swords. Yeah, you see, I feel like you're going to separate from the job that you're at now. I'm just seeing like a new beginning for you. Like, so it's like it's either gonna be where your job gets a lot easier to manage coming up, or like I said, a new job offer. Because that's what I get with the Page of Cups. To me, the Page of Cups is something new. Show me the outcome here. And the Death card talks about change, like something ending and something beginning. Like the Judgment. Yeah, with the see with the Ace of Cups, see I see like something new coming up. So even right now, Spirit is saying, even if you like, if you're wanting to look for something new, like now is a good time, because there is going to be a change in your career for the better. Is what I'm getting. There's gonna be a change in your career for the better. I feel like the job that you're at now may not be like your end all, is what I'm getting, because they're not specifying, like they're saying you're doing fine, because the Three of Wands for me is like you're good, but then there's again challenges, burnout, stress, and then there's separation. But not that you're getting fired, it's like you're the one that's walking away from this job that you're at now. So that's what I have for you, love. I see something new. Like if you now would be a good time for you to apply for jobs if that's what Spirit's saying. Or like I said, I feel like there could be a friend that tells you about a job and you apply for it, you get like when you see the like the job description, or like and when you interview, like you're gonna feel like that's all I have to do for that amount of money. Like that sounds good. So that's what I have for you, love. And thank you, Nine. They don't appreciate the effort, yeah. A lot of jobs are like that. It's a shame, but it's like after a while you just be like, what the fuck? What am I even doing? You're welcome. All right, Jess, you can post your question. I gotta call my doctor and make an appointment real quick. You're welcome. I have to call them, make my appointment. All right, I got you. Just let me call my doctor real quick so I could schedule an appointment. All right, I'm back. All right, so let's see what's the energy around the test I'm taking this week. Let's see. Let's see for Jazz. All right, we got the Five of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles, the Magician. Hi, who's in here, guys? Please like the stream. Talk to us. The Star. I feel like you may be a little conflicted in your head, but I see like your hard work paying off is what Spirit is saying, because you have the Eight of Pentacles. They're saying to just stay focused on your end goal, because you also have the Magician here. So it's like you can make whatever you want happen with this test. I would definitely try to like, you know, like get your rest before you take it, and feel confident. Like just be confident. Kind of just like I'm correcting as it comes up, but yeah, oh, okay, I don't get what you're saying. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's when, like, I'm seeing conflict with your mental, and maybe remember that was coming up for you, like something with your mental, like. But I feel like Spirit saying like just kind of focus, just kind of like in your own mind, like practice it or like see yourself passing it, because again, they're saying focus on your angle. The Magician is there. You have the Star, so like you're getting your wish fulfillment. And you have the Wheel of Fortune, which is good luck is on your side, good fortune is on your side. And you have the Lovers, which for me, this is here is like there's going to be alignment with like your wish and what you're wanting. Um, yeah, like the Three of Cups. So I feel like this is a celebration card. So I feel like you're gonna be fine. Just make as long as you make sure that your mental, I mean, we're not gonna be perfect or whatever, but just make sure that your mental is leaning more towards positivity than it showing up as like being pessimistic. So like, just remind yourself like it's all gonna work out for you. Like even if you use like a blanket affirmation, use that, or like literally affirm that you're good, like no matter what, you're gonna pass it. Um, is what I'm getting. But you have all these cards that talk about good fortune, good luck being on your side, you getting your wish fulfillment. They're just saying to stay calm and don't like overexert yourself with like the possible like negative outcome. Um, mm, yeah, do a letter later. I think I'm gonna do one too. I'm gonna do a few later. Look, the Six of Wands. See, I'm seeing you getting praises. I feel like you're gonna pass it. I do. Look, the Page of Cups. I will be surprised if you don't, because you got victory cards, a bunch of victory cards, like, and you're moving on from the situation. So I feel like you're gonna pass it. That was like a really good spread. All right, how will my Etsy shop do for the rest of this month? How will Justice Etsy shop do for the rest of this month? How will her Etsy shop do? How will the Etsy shop do? And Jess, did you apply for unemployment? Were you eligible for apply? I think you should be. How will her Etsy shop do the rest of this month? All right, we have the Fool in the reverse, the Seven of Wands, the Four of Swords. Yeah, when you get let go from a job, you can apply for unemployment because you got let go. It's not like you quit. I would still apply. Just I don't know how it is out there, but I would still apply. What I mean was yeah, I would still apply because you it's not like you quit. You have the Nine of Cups. So I feel like I feel like you may be dealing with a little bit of more like I would say like kind of situations like you did yesterday. Not too much though. I feel like things are gonna stay pretty the same for this month as they have been. You may start to feel like, okay, I want more. Maybe like you're just maybe I feel like you're gonna be getting a lot of the same people this month, like a lot of the same people where you're like, okay, like I need some new energy here, like I'm tired of reading the same energies is what I'm getting from this. Show me the but overall I feel like things are gonna be fine because for me the Four of Swords is like a card of like things going like all is well even if you don't see a lot of movement. So you may not see too much of a change, like of growth, of drastic growth just yet. And like I said, I feel like, but you're gonna still feel good about it because you do have the Nine of Cups here. You do have the Nine of Cups, which it is a card of like happiness, fulfillment, being stable. Show me the Five of Cups. Yeah, the Page of Wands. See, I feel like you're like, all right, I need some new energy. The Page of Wands is something new. So I do feel like you will have some new customers coming in because I do have the Page of Swords here as well. So this is like new energy. But I feel like you're going to get a lot of the same people where you may start to feel like, all right, I've been like, it's like, it reminds me of that one time I had that one girl that was like getting like 8 orders per day. And it's like, I appreciate the business, but after a while, I was just like, you know, at that time I only had like 4 listings, so it's only but so much I was doing, and it just became a little exhausting because I felt like, to me, it was just mentally I was just like, okay, like I had to talk to her because I wasn't sure what she was looking for because it was the same stuff like all day every day for like 2 weeks straight. Remember that's the one that I said spent like hundreds of dollars within a few days. So that's, I feel like maybe not the same situation, but I do feel like you're gonna feel like, all right, I'm reading the same energies every single day. Like I don't know what else to give them, and maybe there's a little bit of like back and forth with a person or two is what I'm getting. Show me more of her Etsy shop. The Four of Pentacles with the Justice. Things will balance out though. So I feel like maybe the rest of this month things will stay steady as they've been, like I said. But then it eventually picks back up. Like it picks up more. It picks up more. So that's what I have for you, Jess. There is going to be a change because I have the Tower, the Strength, and the Lovers at the bottom. So there is going to be a change that is more beneficial to you. Where you're going to see, again, like you're seeing the kind of growth that you want. I feel like September, like end of, going like beginning of, very end of August into the beginning to middle of September, there's going to be like changes coming, but like good ones. Girl, you know what's so funny? I want to have something like ramen today for dinner. I don't want to do too much. Lately, I just haven't been like real hungry either. Like I just really been wanting like small stuff. I had this really good sandwich the other day when me and my sister went out for the concert. We went to Xfinity Live and we had food there. It was so good. It was so good. Yo, I had a dream that I was dating this guy that I know. I was like, what the fuck? It was so confusing. I was so confused. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I was so confused, yo. Then earlier when I was like, I was affirming, right, doing my, the SP ones. I don't know what I was like. I must have been like, I must have like not like nodded off, like because, yo, that's funny. I I was I forgot what. Oh wait, I was as I was doing my SP affirmations, like I don't. I must have nodded off. I must have like knocked out or for like a second, cause I woke up and I was like, yeah, where are we going? I was like, yo, I was, yeah, knocked the fuck out. Yo, that's crazy. I'm just like, I guess for me, I'm like getting to a point where I'm like, say something, do something, anything. That's I think where I'm at right now. Like anything. I just like whatever. Is this how you felt just when you saw like nothing happening? I mean, I wouldn't say nothing. I know we know that something is happening behind the scenes, but is this how you felt? This is how you felt. So when did it change? Did it change when he started like liking your stuff, or like just even viewing your stories? Okay, so I gotta ask, like when there was a I don't want to say disconnect. Did he just like when he started liking your stories? That's when he started viewing your stories again, or no? So, um, hold on. Remember when hold on. Before he started like liking your stories, right? Was he viewing them too? Was he viewing them or no? It kind of all just happened at once. The funny thing is with him, sometimes, but not all the time, and not as fast, right? Right? So it did feel, that's why I said, like, it felt like it all happened at once. Maybe, remember that I used to get that too for you? I used to be like, yo, your stuff is just, like, when it comes, it's just gonna happen at once. And that's what I felt happened with you. It was just like the one day I was just like, fuck this, like, bro, like, show something, because we kept seeing the actions coming up. And then I feel like, yeah, like he waved at you, then he started liking your posts, like reviewing the stories, like, and liking them, and it was like, oh my god, like, and now he be double like, see, so now it's like it's picking up. Yeah, you're ready to talk, yeah, but it will happen because now that he's like double liking, like you see, but it's picking up, so you have some momentum that's picking up. With me, I see more so like, I guess, like signs that he's paying attention, because it's like I said, the way I type like the captions on my pictures, when I do the black background with the white letters, he'll do the opposite. And it's like I noticed that, I just started to notice that last week. I was like, what the fuck? Like, okay, hi ladies, how are you? And I was like, for me it was random, and then the other stuff that I've told you about. So it's like there's little things. Did you ever notice things like that though, just for you? I don't think you did, right? So it's like for me, there's like little things that I'm like, and then the other day when he had posted that picture, he's put back to my hiatus, and then proceeds to post more pictures. It was like, bruh, yeah, you ain't in no hiatus. Like, this ain't no hiatus. Not really, right? Yeah. So it's like, what the fuck? Like, this just little things that I have noticed that I'm like, it's there in my face. That I'm like, okay. But it reminds me of what I told you that I noticed last year. And I didn't notice it till this year, that I was like, yo, I remember this, that, and the third was happening. Like, you were already paying attention. So that's what it gives. And then yesterday, yo, that was crazy for me to see that guy on the timeline with the same exact outfit he had on our first date. Like a random ass guy on my timeline. It was on a reel. Like I was watching reels and that came up. Not even my timeline. I was watching reels and that came up, and I was like, yo, literally the same fucking out, the same jacket. The shirt was just different, but the pants identical. The sneakers, he had black, all black. So it's like, what the fuck? Well, his were like black and they had some white in it. I forget. They're I can't remember what brand it is, but I was just like, that is so. It's not random. We know it's not random, but it was just like, oh my god. Okay. Yeah, I remember that. That's why I tell everyone just keep going because it's gonna happen. You just gotta keep going. Like, the only thing that delays stuff is the resistance we have to it and people who just stop. You know, we were talking, I remember like when we had a meeting when I was in the group like last year. Hi, everyone that's in here, guys. Please like the stream, and donations are open, by the way. Um, Last year when I was in my old, well, the manifestation group with Nikki and Flossie, and they said like they're like the big mistake like that people do is they'll affirm and then they start feeling better and then they just stop affirming. That's it. They just stop. And she was saying like she's like you don't stop until it becomes like solid. Like, and when do you know it's solid? When you're experiencing what you're manifesting. So, because you're gonna, that's what I was telling people. Like, I was telling this on a call. Like, I mean, I've said it to a few people. It's like, you're gonna end, like, at some point, you're going to start feeling better. Like, you will, right? And because now it's like stamped into your subconscious mind. So yeah, you will start to feel better because subtle changes do happen. But that is when you even go even harder because now, you know, you are once your subconscious is impressed, like it's only up from there. But if you quit when you're there, you kind of just like take away the momentum that you just created, really. That's like me, like you know, in July, the end of July, that's well, like I would say July was like a really good month, and like the end towards the end of July, beginning of August, like I was starting to feel like I was just like yes, like this, you know, my energy was so much more balanced, but that never once that I think like I'm gonna stop. You just it doesn't make sense to me. You could put your question, Jess. All right, let's see. Hold on, give me a second, Jess. Sorry, Jess. Sorry, Jess. I'm sorry. Hold on. Hi, Sarah Boo. How are you? Oh my God. I'm sorry. This is one of my coaching emails. So she's saying, she said that she was talking to someone. Someone was like, yeah, it exists in a 4D and then it comes to the 3D. But she's like, can you please like just affirm, like basically like give her my thoughts on this. So she says, um, I just feel like it's so limiting to say it only exists in the 4D. If you're assuming something to be real, then it's already real in the 3D too. Like my own example, my cat was gone the whole day, and at night I just said, no, she's here. Next morning, my sister told me she was literally under the bed the whole time. So yeah, when you decide it's real here too, not just in the 4D. She said, I affirmed or I just told myself that my cat is here. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's why I said, like, and then she says, funny thing, I didn't just manifest my cat. I manifested this being the highlight of the situation. It's proof it's already in the 3D the moment you decide it is. Yeah, that's how I feel. Like, I was like, that's why I don't use really the 4D and stuff like that anymore, because I agree. Like, to me, it already exists in the 3D. It's just the 3D is a little bit behind and it's catching up. But yeah, I agree. Yeah. She was saying she was talking to her friend, and it's like her friend was confusing her with the whole 3D 4D thing, and I was like, yeah, I don't. Um, all right, Jess. Let's see. Okay, sorry, I got you right after Jess. How is Jay feeling about her not being at work this week? How is Jay feeling about her not being at work this week? The judgment. I just heard acceptance. Yeah, I feel like he's like in this energy of acceptance that he's not gonna see you there. Yeah, the Nine of Pentacles. So I feel like he's again in this energy of like acceptance that you're not gonna be there. Is it something that he makes him like 100% happy? Of course not. But I also feel like he's just now. Remember how I said like he'll be in this energy of like what the fuck, but then he'll just accept it and just kind of like now start to focus on what's next instead of like dwelling on what's what wasn't or what he didn't do. So I'm getting that like now he's feeling, I feel like he's feeling a little more secure about your connection too, is what I'm getting. Like, yeah, I feel like of course, you know, he liked to see you there at work. He liked to you know, like he knew that like how you were, right? Like you know you were gonna see him. He knew he was gonna see you. So of course like that's there, but I think that he's able to like, because now he knows. I think now that he knows that you're not coming back, there is a step. Before I feel like there was an energy of like, what the fuck is going on? So now again, like that spirit keeps using the word acceptance. He is showing up as like, for me the judgment is there. So it's like, it's almost like the judgment for me is like that card of like, okay, what's next is a new phase, is like, you know, all right, we already did this. I could sit here and dwell on it, or I could start thinking about the future, which that's what I'm seeing here with the Ace of Cups. Of course, like I said, he enjoys seeing you. I think that it is a change of routine for him, because he was so used to like when he would go in there, like, you know, if he didn't see you, he would look for you, he would like roam around. Like there are certain things that, habits that he had, that, and routines that he's like, fuck, I can't, you know, I can't, you know, it's not happening. Like I can't, all right, like there's no need for me to walk around because she's not here. Like I know she for sure she's not here. So that's what I'm getting from that. Like it's like those little things he enjoyed, because there was, it's almost like a sense of like, you know what I'm getting, like adrenaline. Like looking for you was like something that gave him like some type of adrenaline. But again, I feel like him being in the Emperor energy, he's like, okay, what do we do now? I feel like he's still looking at you like you're looking good as hell. He likes your independence. He thinks you're absolutely gorgeous. And then with the Ace of Cups, the Eight of Pentacles, he's like more so now focused on looking towards a new start with you, a new love offer. The Ace of Cups is here. Hi everyone, if you're in here and you haven't liked the stream, please like the stream. The Ace of Cups is a new beginning in love. You know, it's a new beginning. It's a card of abundance. So for me, like, I feel like that's what his focus is on. He's gonna work hard towards that. I feel like that's his main focus now, is like, all right, like how do I bring this connection together? How do I bring this back? And the Three of Pentacles, yeah, wanting to rebuild, wanting to build with you. So that is what I'm getting from like his main focus is like now on like us building together, rebuilding, coming together, and like just making things happen, rather than focusing on what was. What are his next actions? Oh, I just want to see the outcome. What are his next actions towards her? I imagine that I feel like now he's working even harder. Like his next actions are to come towards you. Um, he wants progress. He wants progress too. And I feel like the more you put that energy there, like, yep, I'm ready, or like, you know, just continue to focus again on your end goal, he's gonna have no choice but to come and speak to you. Like you have the Knight of Cups too. You know, the knights are action takers. They're coming towards you, and I feel like it's like a fire. Like literally, you see this card right here, and it's Pentacles, and it has all this fire in the background. That's how I feel like there's a fire on his back to like make this happen. So that's what I'm getting. Like I do feel like, again, like there is an energy of like, of course, like something changed. You know, the Judgment is a card of drastic change, a new phase, a new beginning. And I feel like, yeah, like he, of course, I think that there's still gonna be that energy of like regret, but I also like, I see him taking the leader role of like, I gotta make something happen rather than dwelling. So there is a sense of missing you. He's probably like working even harder now because he don't got no distraction. So that's what I have for you, Jess. That's really good energy though. I will say, I think he was like really distracted when you were there. All right. And so can you add Sarah to the list? Just thank you so much. And then Jasmine. All right, let's get to Sarah. Sarah, let me know if you're here. Sarah, are you here? All right, I'm gonna move on to Jasmine then. Sarah will usually tell me. All right, Jasmine, are you here? Oh, all right. So let's see for Jasmine. What are H's next actions towards Jasmine? What are H's next actions towards Jasmine? H's Okay, I got you after Jasmine. I already tapped into her question. All right, what are H's next actions towards Jasmine? The Page of Wands. The Nine of Swords. The Ace of Swords, the Nine of Swords. What are your next actions? The Seven of Cups. The Nine of Cups. And the Ace of Wands. I see like a little back and forth when it comes to actions. There is going to be, yeah, so there's like thinking and missing you, but there is slow energy with the Knight of Pentacles. And I see a back and forth when it comes to like thinking. So I have the Page of Wands. For me, those are messengers. So you may receive another message from him. He may ask you like, what is it that you're wanting from him? Or may ask to get like some clarity, but I do see a breakthrough happening. But then the Nine of Swords is here. Why is the Nine of Swords here? I see like a back and forth happening. So I feel like, show me the Nine of Swords. The Chariot with the Justice. Yeah, see, there's like something with clarity that may come up. I feel like the Nine of Swords, for me, there's a bit of confusion. See, this is the thing. I see actions, but behind the actions, there's confusion. So I feel like you may be getting a little bit of the same energy, at least right now, until you kind of, this energy fully changes. So for now, I do get this sense of like back and forth. Like there's clarity, but then there's confusion. There's progress, and then there's like slowness, like stagnant energy. There's like, all right, I have clarity now, let's progress, but then we go back to like thinking. Like it's like trying to figure out what exactly you want. I do see some type of contentment coming in because we do have the Nine of Cups in the center, so we don't have like bad cards at all. I'm just seeing a little bit of back and forth because there is some confusion. Show me the Seven of Cups. Who is this? What are your next actions? Why the Seven of Cups? The Knight of Swords. You know what I feel like? All right, so you're gonna still hear from him, of course, because I do get that here. But I feel like actions may not be consistent. Actions may not be consistent in the way of like some, like he may, and remember this is just the current energy, come in all fire, like all actions, all gas no brakes, and then slowing down, and then the fire comes back in, and then we slow back down, and then the fire comes back in, and then we slow back down. So that's what I'm getting, like there's gonna be movement, there's gonna be communication, because I have a lot of communication cards here, a lot of them, but I and a lot of cards of progress. But I also see both of you are gonna, I'm getting both of you, not just one of you. I'm getting both of you have like being in your head. One is more on a logical standpoint, the other one is more on an emotional standpoint. So it's like, again, like I just see like that back and forth. Like again, the movement feels fast and then it slows down, moves fast and then it slows down. And I feel like that can cause confusion, because I feel like even with him, he is showing up as being confused too, as far as like what you're wanting. Um, I feel like you guys have to have like a conversation. Like I feel honestly like there needs to be a conversation that happens here. Whether you guys decide to move things forward or like completely disconnect, because there's again confusion on both ends. We both want it, but it's coming in from different directions. And that is where like we're on different pages comes in, right? It's not really more so like that you guys don't want it, or like he wants it and you don't, you want it and he doesn't. That's not what I get here. I feel like we both want it, but it's more so like, how do we want this to work out? So I feel like that's the only thing that I would say like is a little confusing. Like I said, you, one is coming in like stressed more on a logical standpoint, and the other one more on an emotional standpoint. So I do feel like you're gonna hear from him. Like next actions, like you're definitely gonna hear from him. But I do feel like maybe a conversation needs to happen, or you just keep working on what you're doing behind the scenes until he like shows up the way you're wanting him to. Because honestly, I feel like the middle doesn't matter. That's just me. I don't care about the middle as long as like the end goal stays the same. So yeah, that's what I have. Let me see. Time to work on those affirmations. Yes, there really is one that is needed. I want it. Chill, take my time this time and let it flow. Yeah, and maybe he's the one that's coming in that wants it more like I want it right now. Because again, there's like somebody here that's being logical about things, which it could be you. You're being more logical, which I understand. And then he's more doing it from a like emotional standpoint that can turn into like a lot of fire. You're welcome. Oh, excuse me. And thank you, Jasmine. All right, let's go to Sarah. All right, so I have your first question, but I didn't see the second one. So just letting you know, Sarah, it shows me the first question, but it doesn't show me the second question. Would like to know how Jeffrey the Leo feels about me. All right, let's see. How does Jeffrey the Leo feel about Sarah? How does Jeffrey the Leo feel about Sarah? Okay, cool. All right, no problem. How does Jeffrey the Leo feel about Sarah? How does Jeffrey the Leo feel? The Seven of Wands. Is this a new connection, Sarah? What is Jeffrey the Leo for us? The Six of Wands. I get like sexual attraction. Let me just see. The Eight of Cups. Show me more. The Five of Swords. That's sideways. I'm not going to take that. The Page of Cups. The Fool. Yeah, see, I get from him, I'm getting a lot of like sexual energy. Like very, like I'm here for a good time, not a long time, is what I get from him, is Spirit saying. So I see like challenges when it comes to him. A lot of like, for me, the Eight of Cups is like how it's showing up here, especially with the Five of Swords coming in right after that. It's like I'm not here for nothing more than maybe some sexual energy. I, with the Seven of Wands being here and the Five of Swords, again, there's like a lot of challenges with this person. Maybe he's like not mentally mature, or he has a lot of like problems going on. Like there's a snake here. So I'm not saying that he has bad intentions, but I don't think that he has like intentions for anything more than maybe conversation. Let me see what you're saying. Hold on. I've no, wait. I'm curious. We do flirt here and there. Okay. That's what, yeah. I've known him for a few years, but we catch up. You're right. There is. He lives a distance, of course. This is how that makes. Yeah. So maybe that's like, because I don't get someone that's like, not that he's not, doesn't see you as someone that's serious, but I'm not getting someone that's like invested in anything more than that. Like the Page of Cups for me is, a messenger, or like, like very curious energy, new energy. So he could be curious about you, but I think it's more in a sexual way. And then I have the Eight of Cups with the Fool. So to me, again, it's like the Eight of Cups with the Fool being there, for me, it feels more so like this is someone that's very carefree. Again, not here for a long time, just here for a good time. You have the Judgment and one more. Show me the Judgment. With the Ten of Wands. Yeah, no, I don't. And the Five of Cups in the reverse. So I feel like this is not someone that I would invest in. Um, a lot will come with him, and I think that he's just like an unserious person that's not really looking for anything serious, I feel like, with anyone. So yeah, that's what I'm getting from him. He does find you very, very attractive, and there is curiosity there, but I do feel like it's more on a intimate level than, emotional. So that's what I have for you, Sarah, for that one. And you could post your second question whenever you're ready. You said, yeah, after catching up yesterday, I feel like I was like, nah. Yeah, what did you get from him? I thought it was fairly new because I quickly picked up on like, when in the beginning when you're just like getting to know someone. So that's where he's at. Like he's in like early stages where, that to me could go anyway. At least right now it feels more so like, on a sexual level. You're good. You said it was for the job. I went, oh, how did that go? Oh, you did? Yeah, ChatGPT is good. It's been a while, right? Oh, they do? Aw. So that's just a few months away. Yeah, not bad. No problem. Yeah, take your time. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, got you. All right, let's see. Let's see. Okay, I'm leaving the connection behind with T. I'm curious to see. I'm curious on how he's feeling. I'm curious on his feelings for me. I had a good time with him Sunday, but he's leaving, so I don't want to get my heart broken. I'm sure he'll move on. All right, let's see. What are your feelings for Sarah? What are T's feelings for Sarah? What are T's feelings for Sarah? What are your feelings for Sarah? We got the Chariot, the Ace of Wands, the Two of Wands. You know what I'm getting? I feel like even though he's leaving, he is going to try to somehow keep the connection going. I feel like he may not know 100% because I do have the Two of Wands, but I am getting the Chariot, with which is like, it's a car. It's like I'm going away. But with the Ace of Wands, like I still see him taking some action towards you. For me, the Two of Wands is all about planning. It's all about like figuring things out, taking some necessary steps, even if it's just little. But for some reason, I don't see like him wanting to, like, I don't see him closing out this connection. So like I don't know if you've told him that it's you're moving on from it, but I don't see him moving on from it. I feel like he enjoys his time with you. He enjoyed his time with you, and I feel like, again, there's reconnecting here. There's still a chance for building something. I feel like, again, like he doesn't know for sure how that's gonna go. But for me, the Three of Pentacles, like when you're building something brick by brick, you're taking your time, and brick by brick is literally one brick at a time. So it may not be the fastest way to grow something or to build something, but it is the most efficient. So I do see him kind of still like building like a strong foundation with you, or at least wanting that strong foundation with you. And the Two of Wands, for me, again, it just lets me know like it's not over yet. Show me the Two of Wands. See the Queen of Pentacles. So I feel like he values you and the connection, not just you. Like I'm getting like he values the connection. So I mean, I get your standpoint too, but I also say like just remember we experience, and I'm always going to say that because it's just the truth. It's just, you know, my beliefs because of what I myself have experienced and what I know a lot of people experience. It's, you decide what happens. And I know that we're taught to be like, don't be so, like, don't have any expectations, but why not? I know like the fear of like getting hurt is sometimes more powerful, but I will also just try to leave that door open for what could happen. Because you just never know. And I do feel like this guy is not someone that's like ready to let things go. Like I'm seeing him, you guys reuniting again. Anything else she needs to know? Like even if you don't want to like put the full energy on there, but you can maybe have like, that, like, what is it that I was saying sometimes, like, um I'm a believer that no matter what, like I've seen stuff, and I've been in the manifestation community for years, the law of assumption, and for years, and I've seen people that live in different countries that make it work, like people from different religions. And a lot of like Middle Eastern, like, there's a lot of countries where they what is it called when they marry you to, like, your parents pick out the person you're gonna marry, even if you're older, like where they marry the person that they wanted and not the person that their parents picked. So like for me, like it's just like it's not hard fetched that a long distance relationship can work, or that things can happen, things can change. Look, you have the Death card here. Yeah, that's your ego. Like your ego always tries to prepare you for failure, but you gotta fight it, because I feel like for like a lot of people, like, and I've talked to a lot of, like, even people that I've never met even on here, just people that I was introduced through people for their coaching. And there's a lot of people, a lot of us do, because we've been programmed to, again, have no expectations. Um, in his community, yeah. See, there's gonna be a change. Something is gonna change. There is a possibility for things to change. Do I feel like maybe it's gonna be hard at first? Yeah, but look, there's still like him bringing clarity, even if he is away. And you have the Tower with the Temperance. So I do feel like there's a possibility. Hold on, grab another card. The Four of Cups, that wasn't supposed to come, but the Tower with the Temperance is like there could be like something that changes. Like what if he ends up working back over here, like, you know what I mean? So there's this thing with him that I feel like the chapter is not 100% closed, especially not on his end. Let me just use the bathroom and then I'll do your third question. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. All right, how do you make tea feel? All right, let's see. How does Sarah make tea feel, Spirit? All right, the Sun, the Six of Swords, the Tower. I feel like you make him feel like very happy, positive. Maybe he was like a person too that was like optimistic, but you make him feel like very, I mean, that was very pessimistic, and you make him feel optimistic. Like I see a lot of like joy, light. Um, I have the Tower here, so I feel like there could be like a lot of like chaos going on around him, or just maybe like a lot of hecticness, right? Maybe not chaos per se, but like a lot of changes, and you make him feel more subtle. um I have the Two of Wands with the Queen of Pentacles clarifying the Tower. And yeah, I feel like you also make him think. Like, so I feel like maybe he was someone that just does things day to day, but you make him think about the future. You make him think about like endless possibilities, limitless like ideas. Like, there's a thing about you that makes him feel calm, especially with that Six of Swords being there. So you do make him feel calm in the midst of like a lot of things happening. Show me more. The Five of Swords, the King of Wands, and the King of Cups. So I'm getting like, show me one more for this Five of Swords, because I feel like you help him balance himself out mentally too. So very mentally supportive is what I get. Yeah, look, the Two of Cups. So you balance him out is what I'm getting from him. Like, you emotionally, mentally, physically, I feel like you balance him out. You bring him a sense of balance, a sense of peace that I feel like he's not really used to, or he has not experienced. The King of Wands is very like, I always say that's my visionary, right? Like, he's the one that he has a vision, he makes it happen. He's like the entrepreneur. He's always on the go. But he also, like, in a connection, like, he knows how to be responsible. He knows how to be committed. So that I feel like you do kind of open up to him. I mean, you open him up to like more emotional stability. I will say that he also did help and clarify some things with my father's passing. I wasn't clear, and he's a doctor, and he helps people with those conditions. Oh, and it gave me clarity. I really, oh, yeah, then that's good. Yeah, I feel like yeah, see, the Ace of Swords, I mean, the Queen of Swords is here. Um, I feel like he likes how direct and open you are. Um, with the Ace of Cups, see, I get that energy again. Like, the Hangman for me is like someone that's like paused and thinking, like seeing things from a different perspective. And I feel like that's what you bring to him. And it's more about the romance. Like, romantically, there is this energy of like, you help him see things from a different perspective. So I feel like when it comes to like just the full package, like, you're not just, I feel like you're not just, how can I say, like, you're not just making him feel things from a surface level, or from just, or only on an emotional level, or only on a physical level. I feel like it's all together, if that makes sense. And your honesty and how open you are, I feel like that's something that he really enjoys. So that's what I have for you, Sarah. That's like really good energy. It was like straightforward. Yeah, I get like good, like, we have really good energy. Like, I've gotten really good energy from you and him. I think just, circumstances are maybe like having you guys second guess the connection. But for me, circumstances don't matter, because circumstances, they just don't. Anything can happen, anything can change. Just like we wake up today and be like, like this, like if you're wanting to buy a car and you're deciding, I want a Range Rover, but then when you go to buy the Range Rovers, you're like, you know what, no, I'm kind of leaning more towards like a Cadillac. Like, things can change that drastically too, and with people in real life. And that's how I look at it. Everything to me is the same. Not saying that cars and people are, you know, the same, but to me, circumstances are the same. Like, and as far as like how they can change, whether it's, you know, objects or people. Yeah, you see, like, you start to gain like perspective, especially after like being around someone, which is a good thing, you know, like you want to have that. You want to be able to see things from a different perspective. Very connected. I'm glad he feels nice around me too. Yes, I'll be open. Right. He was encouraging me to be open and he just kept telling me how beautiful. Yeah, you see, like I think that's why I say like you just never know, man. I trust me, I have learned through my own experiences, like taking out other people's experiences. Through my own experiences, I've learned that even though we're not seeing certain things in our in our faces, there's things in the background that are working out in our favor with that person. As long as, like, you know, I think what happens is like as soon as a circumstance happens, we kind of be like, all right, I'm ready to move on. And it's okay, like if that's your decision, that's your decision. But I feel like if you're experiencing the same stuff over and over, you have to kind of look at to see where's that pattern coming from. So that's nice. Yeah, that is nice. And thank you, Sarah. Just if you're here, you can post. And I'm not rushing you, Sarah. All right, let's see, Jess. Yeah, so happy. I have at least had a different perspective. That's what this are exactly. Yeah, yeah. And then toss your side. Let's see. What are Jay's next actions towards Jess? And Jess, we could close donations at 2:30 because you know I'll be back tonight for a little bit. Well, no, I was gonna stay on till like 3. Hold on, let me think. Let me think real quick. What are Jay's next actions towards Jess? We can close them at 2:35. Jay's next actions towards Jess. Jay's next actions towards Jess. Jay's next actions. The moon. Spirit is being funny. The chariot. The Seven of Wands. The Ten of Wands in the reverse. The Five of Swords. What are your next actions towards Jess? The Tower in the reverse. Why is the Five of Swords here? Alright, this is way too many. I mean, I'm going to take these. Alright, we got the six. I'm going to start with the Five of Swords. We got the Six of Wands, the Ace of Wands, and the Seven of Wands. I'm seeing a lot of observing. So, you may not see, like, physical actions from him. You're going to see... because even with the moon, to me, it's like things that are not, you're not gonna see right away. So things that are being hidden from you right now. So this is like behind the scene stuff, behind the scene things that are moving. I feel like there is still some challenges that I don't want to say challenges. The connection is gonna face, but I gotta say what's coming through in the cards. So you may not see a lot of physical change, which I feel like we've been getting that. Like, not, you're gonna still see him doing this, the stuff that he's doing, and it's gonna be like the growth is gonna be subtle. So like, you know how earlier we were talking about how it went from him like in a story, um and then like viewing every story, and then now he's like double liking stuff. Like, it's gonna be kind of like that. Maybe not something directly. I mean, to me, that's still direct action towards you. Like, I see that as direct action, but maybe like not talking just yet is what I'm getting. Because you're still getting actions from him, and to me, like, him liking your stories, sending like, viewing your stories and liking your stories, that's still direct action, the action that you weren't getting, a few months back or even a year ago. So it's like you're still going to see that, but it may feel a little challenging to you. Yeah, look, it's going to feel challenging to you, not really to him. He's moving in the he's moving in at his pace, right? So we know, and I always say this, like, when it comes to us, like, because we already know the story that we have, and we already know what it is, and not even the story that we have, we already know what our end goal is. We already know what we're claiming. So we're already, like, in our mind, like, in your mind, you're married, right? Let's just say, I'm not saying that that's what you want, but I'm just using an example. In your mind, you're married, that's it, that it is what it is, right? And if you're married, you're communicating with your person, where he is still in the phase of like working his way up. So it's like spirit is saying like there maybe need to have more patience. I do feel like with the Ten of Wands, like things will not feel as heavy. But I'm getting him still kind of like a lot of like stalking behind the scenes, a lot of like stalking behind the scenes, but I don't see a drastic change. The Tower here showing up in the reverse, to me, there's like not a lot of change that you're gonna see. It's gonna be subtle growth. You do have the Wheel of Fortune. Let's see. But it's not a bad thing unless you see it as a bad thing. You get what I'm saying? And I know, because it's like you already know what's gonna, like, you know what it is because we already know what's gonna happen because we already claimed it. But now we're like, what the fuck? Like, that's how I've been feeling lately. I'm like, all right, like, I already know this is gonna happen. Like, I already know because I know for a fact it is, right? But it's like, come on. So timing, because the Wheel of Fortune does talk about timing. Like, maybe the timing may feel off for you, and we have to remember that sometimes if we focus on timing of the when or the how, we kind of cause a little resistance. So the Justice card is all about like you will get your clarity on like things that are happening, but again, I feel like he's still gonna take action towards you. It's just gonna pick up, and it's gonna be in different ways. Like, he may start liking your reels, like not just the story, but like the stuff that you post like on your, like, in a regular post. So there's gonna be other ways that he's gonna like show you that he's paying attention. Yeah, like the King of Cups. So there is other ways that he's gonna show you, like even like him posting certain sentimental things, like you're gonna know, but it's just maybe not feel like direct communication just yet. Even though, like I said, to me, him liking your stories and that kind of stuff, it is showing direct communication. Um, so yeah, that's what I'm getting. And remember, you changed the energy, so that's just what's coming up in your energy now, but you get to decide. I'm like, fuck that lady. I just been really like saturating. I'm like, every chance I get, I'm saturating. Every chance I get, I'm saturating. Like between all of my manifested, like, you know, everything that I'm working on, I'm like just saturating. I'm like, fuck that. That's all I'm gonna be doing. Because I do believe that saturation works. I know because I focused so much on saturating in July that I started to see certain shit. What was that day that we did that almost that whole day of saturating? And then like 2 days later, I started to see little shit that I was like, oh shit. That's why I'm like, fuck that. That's what my main focus is going to be, is in saturating. You're welcome. And now like that's what I said, like I'm like lately, like every free time I have, I'm just saturating. Like it's on go now. Like I'm like, fuck that. Like I'm done waiting for this bullshit. Like not waiting for this not bullshit, but you get what I mean. And you know how I know too, like my mind is being saturated because I haven't had a chance to record like my shortened list of affirmations. So I was just like, whatever, I'm gonna just keep it the way it is. I can actually say them without playing them in the background. I'm like, the repetition is now really starting to become more impressed because I could say it without even thinking. So yeah, I would just say, like, for now, just keep saturating. It's we know it's this is a, like, me, to me it's like, I know it's before, you know what it was, I think before it was like, is it gonna happen? Like, I don't know if that's happened to you, like where you're like, is it gonna happen, like you, that little doubt, right? But now I'm not feeling that. I know, I feel like I'm more in the I know it's gonna happen, where before it was like, I don't know. And I also feel like no matter how you're doing it, it all counts. And that's another thing too. Like, I think that people get so, I mean, don't get me wrong, I think focus affirming is more like, it impresses the subconscious right there on that level because you're focused on just that. But no matter what saturation you use, as long as you're saturating and as long as you're keeping your mind like a good mental diet, you're good. Exactly. No, that's what I said because you already know the end. That is what I was saying, right? So, like, let's just say somebody is manifesting marriage, but they're not in communication with their person. You know, is you're kind of living in, like, it's almost like you're double minded, but I don't want to say you're double because it's like, this is the end goal. We're married, but also we're not talking. So, yeah, that's where, like, a little bit of that disconnect comes in. But, you know, um, um, I feel like too, like the more we kind of tell ourselves, it's, you know, it's easy to manifest these things. And that's why I say power affirming and like your self concept, because I also feel like when I don't do my self concept affirmations, like when I'm just like rushing, I'll get comfortable with not doing them, and then I find myself feeling like, oh, I feel like, ugh. So, but I feel like the main thing is like working on those things, like your desires, working on your desires. So just, you know, you're there. Like I like I said, I know exactly what you're saying. So it's like I don't know how to handle it because I keep thinking like, okay, he's not. No, yeah, it's that we were talking about that because I feel like we talked about this a few months ago. It's like you are in the, I hate to call it this anymore, but it's like it is what it is. Like we're in the 3D, like what we're experiencing right now. But then our mind is like way ahead of us. So like what we're experiencing is here, but we're all the way like what we're in our mind, we're over there. So there is like that energy of like looking, it's almost like your mind is trying to look back, but that's where the ego comes in. um yeah, I remember manifestation is doesn't need to be perfect as long as you continue to persist. I mean, even with me, like I manifested stuff like while I was still like checking the 3D, doing all this dumb shit. Like that just, I mean, that I have, but it's more of the, I would look for you, like I would definitely look at it as like I would try to like, because it's your logical mind that's questioning it. That's what it is. Your logical mind. I would like give your logical mind a sense of peace by telling it something like, yeah, like because there is actions that he's taken that he was not taking before. So that's where I feel like you give your logical mind comfort, because that's the one that's like fucking with you. It's not your spiritual mind, because we're literally spiritually awakened. It's not your spiritual mind, which is your subconscious. It's not your subconscious mind that's questioning it, because it doesn't question it. It just believes whatever we tell it. It's your conscious mind. So you just gotta give in that way, like almost like B3D ish of giving your logical mind comfort and saying like, whatever makes it feel comfortable. Like again, like looking at it from the perspective of like he wasn't taking any action, a few weeks ago, a few months ago, where now he is, remember that happened to me too, where it was just like a lot of social media. I mean, there was messages going back, but it didn't start off that way. It started off with like how you like liking stuff, like stuff like that. Like that's just the people's comfort nowadays. um and the more I persisted in my story, things just started to change. But was I still, I don't think I was in a more of a questionable mind then. I feel like I was more so like this, because then it was like I wanted to know everything that was going on. That's where I think where I was at. I wanted to know everything that was going on behind the scene. That's where I think things were a little crazy for me. But I also learned that like the past few months, like I've been too worried about like, well, what is kind of shift is happening here, like, and what kind of shift is happening there, and like, even like asking Chat GPT, and then it was like, oh no, I gotta like, I'm kind of questioning things that I know that I'm seeing, that I know that is beneficial for me. So like even with the whole thing with the post, like changing the color on on the letters, like when I do the black highlight letters, he'll do the white, and then vice versa. Like it's just fucking weird. I mean, it's not weird. It's just I just know that there's some type of connection there that's happening. Like yesterday when I posted like a song in the note, right? I did a note and it had a song. Not even an hour later, he posted something. Remember, that's how he used to be before. The fact that I posted on Sunday that I was out, and he was like posting stuff too. And it's just like, you just kind of know certain things that I think that sometimes for me, what happened is when I would start to ask tarot, like, people would be like, well, no, but it's like last year I wasn't asking shit. And good thing, like I don't have people like you guys have me, so I can make it make sense in the law of assumption way because I know it. But and I have like my girl Luna. I feel like she, when I there are certain questions that I can ask her. I mean Crystal too, because there are certain things that I can ask her and I just tell her like no. But again, there's not that many people that can tell you in a way that it will be more of a law of assumption way rather than their like logical tarot way. Because again, I feel like just because someone is like doing tarot or is intuitive or whatever, they're not as awakened as someone that's in the community that we're in. We're way more spiritually awakened. So I try to tread lightly when it comes to certain things. Like even with the picture thing, I already kind of knew that's how you know what's crazy? Like I could tell you one thing. For a minute, my girl Luna was saying, "Yo, there's something about him. Like he's feeling like there's no way that like you're not seeing somebody else, all this stuff, or like that there's not people after you, right? And I was taking that like not wrong, but in a way that was like, what the fuck? Like, what am I putting out there that's making it feel this way? No, that was my self concept, because he's seeing me as like this, exactly what I feel like I am, right? Like I'm that girl. I'm on the pedestal, putting myself on a pedestal. I'm the empress. I mean, I don't say I'm an empress. I say I'm a goddess. But so he's seeing me in that way. So of course, a man that sees you in that value, he's gonna think like, damn, she could. Who wouldn't want to fuck with her? Who wouldn't want to date her? But I wasn't taking it that way until like last week. It just hit me. I'm like, oh my god, this is good, because that just means that the way I'm impressing my subconscious with my self concept, it has him feeling like, yo, like she's really up there, her confidence, like, how beautiful she is, all this stuff. But I was not thinking that way, Justin. My logical mind was not making that make sense until like last week. And I'm like, oh, this is good shit. Like, this is good shit. Like the whole picture thing, it was like, and not only one person, like three people said it to me. And I know Crystal was one of them, and she was like, oh, I don't know, like he's feeling like you maybe like, and I'm like, no, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. And you gotta just, it's your perspective on things, is what I say. We know we say that all the time. It's your perspective, because again, I was looking at that as like, I was worried, and I'm like, oh my god, like I don't want him to think that, like, I don't want him to think that I walked away or that I moved. But no, this is the thing. When people see that or feel that, they tend to gravitate towards you more. So it's not a bad, it's how we look at it. It's really how we look at it. Because, like I said, like, that, like, that person thinking that maybe, like, there's a third party, someone could take that as a bad thing. Like I said, like I did. But then I was like, fuck that. No, I'm gonna look at it as that's a great thing. Like, I want you to think that. Um, so it's all perspective. Again, we talk about that a lot. All right, guys. Last call for donations before I head out. Remember, even when you start a new job, right? I remember starting the law for not the last law firm I was in, the one before that. I came from being a case manager, like a paralegal, right? Handling cases. And then they're like, well, we don't have an opening there, but we can put you as a to do all the like intakes and referrals. And I was like, let me tell you something. For a long time, like I want to say like maybe like a month, and I was still wasn't understanding this coding that they did. And I was like, yo, I I understand everything else except for that, like the coding. There are no free questions. Make sure you guys read the pinned message when you come in, or the title. If it doesn't say free questions, then there's no free questions. Um, I literally was just like, I couldn't understand it. But the more everybody said, yeah, that's one of the hardest parts to learn, right? The more I did it, the more I got it. So it is really just repetition. Like, we just gotta, again, like even with the readings, like you gotta take it for like, you just gotta put your own spin to it, is what I was saying. That's why I've been really mindful. Like, I remember the one of the readings too with one of the girls. This was had to be like a month ago. I'm gonna tell you exactly when it was. Let me see if I can find it. Where she has said something along the lines of, oh my god, this was July 2nd, over a month ago. The last thing she told me was basically like, looking for someone with my qualities, right? And she was like, even like something with your hair. And you know how I took it? I was like, okay, I'm the blueprint. That's exactly how I took it. Like, okay, that's not, you're not gonna find me. That's for sure. Like, I know that for a fact. But you can go ahead and keep checking to see if you do, because you'll realize that no, No one is like me. So, that's how I took it. And I didn't take it in a bad way. I took it actually in a good way. So again, we always say everything is perspective. Like, I'm the fucking blueprint. I think like the next day or like a few days later, I fucking posted that. You know what? You know what's funny? That was July 2nd. I'm gonna tell you right now. This had to be like a day after I saw whatever I saw. And even then, I was just like, whatever. Has that been in the back of my mind a little bit? Of course. Like, but I just don't claim it. Like, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not gonna worry about certain shit. Like, it's just like, it. I think I found more peace, like, recently, it just knowing that, like, I know for a fact, like, this is gonna happen. I know it is. Do I want it to happen, like, right the fuck now? Of course. But I think I found before it was more so like, oh my God, is it gonna happen? Like, will it happen? Where now I'm like, I know it's gonna happen. So I think too that's the way to to also free your logical mind. Like, just being like, no, it's gonna fucking happen. Like, you know, in our subconscious, we're seeing that it's already happened. In your conscious mind, I think that it's okay to be like, no, it is gonna happen. Like, I feel like that's that too. And it's not, I don't really necessarily say that that's gonna be 100% double minded, but sometimes we do have to get a little logical, and that's okay. Even like, like the whole thing, remember what I was telling you, like, happened, and you were like, yeah, just remember, don't assign it, like, give it your SPA meaning, like, don't give it that meaning. And which is what I tell you. And it's like, when something is happening, you just feel so drained, and you're just like, whatever, but just reminding yourself that it's still working out, it's all good. So yeah. All right, well, I'm gonna head out. I'll be back on later today. Probably not as late. I don't know yet. But I'll be back on later. I'm gonna go do some stuff. I don't even know what I want for dinner. Probably nothing too crazy because I'm not really even that hungry. I mean, it is only 2:45, but we'll see. So I'll text you, Jess. I think I'm gonna do a saturation session right now, to be honest. Get some sats and see if I can. All right, bye.